Welcome to CompuScholar's Professional Development webinar for February of 2025. Today we're going to be talking about the 2025 updates to the Advanced Placement Computer Science A exam and the corresponding changes to our Java programming curriculum. This is a hot topic of conversation amongst AP teachers, so we're going to cover the highlights of what's changed in the course and exam description as well as our course materials. CompuScholar is an endorsed curriculum provider. That means the College Board has reviewed and approved our courses as meeting all the standards for the AP CSA exam. And all of the endorsed providers like CompuScholar have been hard at work for over a year to update all of our materials to match the new standards. So we do have a new 2025 edition of the Java programming curriculum, the associated AP professional learning, and the approved course syllabus. All of those things are currently under review by the College Board, and we would expect endorsement announcements very soon, hopefully in the March 2025 timeframe, to let you know that everything has been approved. And once that approval is finalized, then the College Board will put our new approved syllabus up into the course audit system, and you'll be able to select that as you would normally to complete your course audit. The 2025 edition of our Java programming course will eventually show up under the review courses on your CompuScholar dashboard. So if you'd like to take a look at the new materials, just as soon as the College Board's review has been completed and that endorsement is announced, we'll push the new version of the Java programming course up onto the dashboard, and then you'll be able to click on that Request Review Access button and take a look at the new materials. We'll also release the 2025 version of our professional learning course as well, and you'll see the new course syllabus that's been embedded within the course. If you have already signed up for our professional learning for AP CSA and you'd like to transfer into the new course, just let us know and we're happy to do that. So in terms of the timing, the new changes will take effect for the 2025-2026 school year. So the May 2026 exam is the first time that all the new standards will be tested, and there's not any impact to the 2024-2025 school year. So your May of 2025 exam obviously will be unimpacted by these new changes. So a common question anytime there's a big update like this is why are they doing it? And it's important to know that the College Board is very, very careful to interact with colleges. They regularly survey colleges and college professors to figure out what is being taught in your introductory computer science classrooms. And they want to match what's actually being taught in colleges to what the AP exam requires. And remember, the primary goal of the AP program is to enable students to earn college credit. So if the students score well on the exam, colleges have looked at the exam requirements and decided those are sufficiently aligned to their own standards to award students that college credit. So again, that's the goal. We were participating as an endorsed provider in some of the early discussions around the updates. We saw a lot of data that the College Board had provided, so they're not doing things like this on a whim. They're very methodical about trying to keep up with colleges and make sure that the exam reflects what the colleges need in order to award credit. And then as a secondary goal, naturally, anytime you're doing an update, you can take a chance to refine the CED, clarify, simplify, and that sort of thing. So at a very high level, there were a couple of topics that were removed and a couple of topics that were added. The topics that were removed were inheritance and polymorphism. So those two subjects will no longer be tested by and large within the course and exam description. There is still some sense of a class hierarchy, so students will need to understand that objects can inherit traits and that sort of thing, but it's very, very lightweight, and students will not be creating their own classes to demonstrate inheritance and polymorphism. The topics that were added include working with data sets. So these days there's a higher level of focus on data analysis and data manipulation. And then to kind of enable that, there's also new topics around using file input with scanner. So students would be expected to be able to read files with the scanner object in order to process those data sets. Now there are a variety of other changes to the CED in the spirit of continuous improvement. So you may be familiar with the unit sequence. That is the recommended sequence of ordering of topics. There used to be 10 small units in the old CED, and with the 2025 CED there are now 4 big units. And we're honestly not exactly certain why this change was made. Our guess is that there's more flexibility now for sequencing topics. So in order to be an endorsed provider and to follow the recommended sequence, you have to do things in unit order. But within the units, you're free to kind of organize things in ways that make sense to you. So with 4 big units, You could, for example, decide to teach recursion earlier than you would have earlier. Previously, recursion was the 10th of the list in the units, and now recursion is simply within the last unit, so you can teach recursion anywhere in that last quarter of the class. So that's our best guess as to why the unit sequence was changed to 4 units instead of 10. Some other things they did, you may be familiar with some overlapping concepts in the CED. The old CED had these big ideas, they had enduring understandings, they had computational thinking practices and skills, and they had the actual content that students needed to learn on a detailed basis. So the new CED has removed the big ideas and the enduring understandings. There was just too much complexity and overlap and similarity there, in our opinion. And so the new CED has computational thinking practices, which is a very brief list of high-level skills the students are expected to know. And they have the content, which are represented by those learning objectives and essential knowledge statements. So the new CED has new computational thinking practices and very familiar but somewhat changed learning objectives and essential knowledge. The new CED is now posted on the College Board's website. It is currently in an alternate location, so the old CED is up under the kind of the main CED links and the course and exam description page, and the College Board will replace the old CED with the new one after the May 2025 exam is complete. So let's go over to the College Board website and show you where to find the new CED. So we're here at collegeboard.org, and we're going to scroll down and click on AP Central. And then we'll find the AP Courses and Exams page and scroll down to find AP Computer Science A. And we'll scroll down, and right at the top you see Future AP CSA Revisions. We'll click on Learn More. And here is the new CED that you can download. So again, this is an alternate location for now. We expect sometime after the May 2025 exam, this page will go away and you'll find the new CED back under the main course page, just like you would. This is the old CED, but it'll be replaced by the new one. So if you haven't already, go ahead and download the new CED and start taking a look. All right, so let's think about our Java programming course for a minute. So this is our endorsed curriculum that matches all of the AP CSA standards. And it was important to us not to lose any content. This course is used by many people for many different purposes. We like inheritance and polymorphism ourselves, but even though those contents are no longer required on the AP exam, they are still present in the course. And what we've done is simply move them later in the course to the chapters that are marked as optional. So if you'd like to teach inheritance and polymorphism, or if you're not doing AP CSA but you're using our Java programming course for Computer Science 1 or Computer Science 2 and you need those topics, rest assured they're still there. So we didn't get rid of any content, but we may have simply moved it around to focus on the AP topics. Our overall sequence of chapters is still very, very similar. We do have some small tweaks here and there, including things like moving our File I/O chapter up into the required content. So the File I/O chapter is now part of that basic AP sequence. We did add a lesson on the scanner as well, and so we'll meet all the new File I/O requirements for the 2025 CED. We added a chapter on datasets. We added a chapter on focused exam prep for the course, so we kind of talked about the exam in more detail. And we also added some new unit level labs to match the new units. So units 2, 3, and 4 have their own standalone labs that are pretty elaborate and comparable to what the students will be doing on the exam. So let's switch over and take a look at the course. All right, this is our new Java Programming 2025 course. Again, this will show up on your review dashboard just as soon as we get approval from the College Board. You'll have the new AP syllabus once it's approved up here at the top link. And then as we scroll down, we have carefully labeled the start of units within the chapter titles. So Chapter 1 begins Unit 1 in the new CED. We scroll on down. Unit 2 begins with Chapter 9. And we keep going. Chapter 15 in the Algorithm Challenge project. So this is a new project to wrap up Unit 2 focused on algorithms. And this is basically the end of your first semester. And then the second semester you'll start with Unit 3, which is creating Java classes. We'll scroll on down. Program design considerations. This is a new chapter focused on AI topics and reliability of code and things like that. Chapter 20 is our remote control project. This used to be a midterm project, but it's now moved a little bit later in the course, and so this is our capstone project for the end of Unit 3. And then Unit 4 with data sets and data structures begins in Chapter 21. Chapter 25 is our file access chapter. This used to be marked as optional later in the course, but we've moved it up into the core content. We also added a lesson on the scanner object, so the College Board will use the scanner exclusively for file input. Students are not responsible on the AP exam for file output, even though we do continue to teach that in this chapter as well. Chapter 26 is a new chapter on data management, so we talk about data sets and cleaning data and data bias and things like that. And then we'll wrap up with our familiar chapter on recursion. And we have a new capstone project at the end of Unit 4 that works with image processing and 2D arrays. So that's a fun new project. Chapter 29 is a new chapter as well. This is a chapter that is focused on preparing students for the AP CSA exam. So we'll talk about the exam format and the weighting and the scoring and things like that. So we would encourage teachers to review this chapter with their students early and often throughout the course. They'll also learn about the Java Quick Reference Sheet, which is something the students should be comfortable using as they roll into the exam. And then all the chapters afterwards are marked as optional. Here are familiar chapters on inheritance and polymorphism if you want to do those after the exam. And all the other chapters that we used to have are still here as well. So that is a very quick sprint through the new Java programming course. Many elements of it are very familiar, but we have made some changes to ensure that we keep up with the exam requirements and that students will be successful on the exam. So as you know, teachers will complete a course audit in order to be an authorized teacher for the College Board. This is something you do on the College Board's website. So teachers should be able to complete that course audit and select CompuScholar as your textbook and select CompuScholar as your endorsed provider's syllabus. So this is something that is required for AP teachers, and if you're using the CompuScholar curriculum in your course, we ask that you do complete this course audit and make sure you select CompuScholar for both of these things. And the endorsed provider syllabus will be available for selection just as soon as the College Board finishes the review process. So we expect that sometime in the March 2025 timeframe. So we are aware that some teachers have already completed the course audit and they have selected a different textbook or a different syllabus. So you may have simply completed the course audit in previous years and then you're now switched over to using the CompuScholar's materials. We've had a lot of conversation about this situation with the College Board because frankly there's no easy way to change your course audit to simply select a different textbook or select a different syllabus. So what the College Board has told us is that the easiest way to do this is to simply delete your existing audit and start a new audit. So that sounds kind of scary, but actually it's pretty quick and easy. It's about a 15-minute process just to go through the audit system and delete your old one and set up your new audit. And when you set up the new audit, you select all the CompuScholar textbook and syllabus documents as you would expect. We do advise doing this before school starts. We're not certain what effect deleting your audit and starting over will have on AP Classroom. So if you're in the middle of the school year, you've got students enrolled in AP Classroom, so we certainly would not advise deleting your course audit and starting over at that point without a very careful understanding of the impact that might have on AP Classroom. If you need more information on the course audit, we do recommend our professional learning. We have endorsed professional learning for both AP CSA and AP CSP that you can reach on our main website. We do encourage this for all teachers. The professional learning has been updated to 2025 as well to reflect the new CED. We will announce the release of that professional learning alongside the release of our course just as soon as we gain approval. And once we do that, we'll have the option for teachers that have already enrolled in professional learning to move over to the new course. And as a reminder, our professional learning is online, self-study, self-paced. You can do it in your own time. It'll take about 10 hours to complete everything. And at the end, if you're a CompuScholar teacher that has completed the course and you've selected us in your course audit, we'll send you a $50 Amazon gift card as well. So we encourage you to register online, and let me show you where to do that real quickly. So to register for the professional learning here at our main website at CompuScholar.com, we'll just click on For Classrooms, and then Professional Development and AP CSA Professional Learning. So this page contains a description of the professional learning. This is a syllabus document for the professional learning itself. You can take a look at the content of the professional learning, And when you're ready, just hit the Register Now button, fill out the form, and we'll normally approve your access the same day. So we would encourage all of our AP teachers to sign up for our professional learning. Thanks so much for watching. We appreciate your time. As always, you're encouraged to contact us with questions or feedback. You can reach us by phone, through our website, or by email.